Hello guys, Dit here. Today's video is about farming T17 for scarabs. And one disclaimer before we starting this video, this strategy is high investment and this strategy also very difficult to do. So you're going to need a good build for this one. With that said, let's proceed to the setup. Number one is the map. For maps, I'm doing T17 abominations. I think you can do on either T17. It doesn't have to be abominations. For me, I run abomination because that's the only thing I have. Because most of the time I'm farming at Jungle Valley and the T17 drop from Jungle Valley is abominations. There's two important parts of the map that you need to know. Number one is the modifier of more scarabs inside the maps. And you're going to need at least 100%. A higher the better, but it's going to be harder to roll. But at the very minimum, you need something like 100%. The second part is the map modifier. You really need to pay attention to what modifier you're going to run on your map, because T17 have a lot of crazy and deadly map modifiers. For example, Shepherd Touch. This is probably one of the most ridiculous one. Basically what Shepherd Touch did is it make every rares is basically have a shaper with them. So they're going to shaper slam you, they're going to shaper beam you, they're going to throw shaper ball at you. And when you have like 2 or 3, even 4 rares inside the same area, you're going to have like multiple beam, multiple slam, and multiple balls, and that is very deadly. Obviously, there's a lot more map modifier. I cannot explain everything here. You kind of have to try it out yourself and kind of figure out what map mod you can do and what map mod you cannot do. So for the map mod, pay attention to that one. Roll it very well. I do add cost for rolling the map, because I know I need to roll the map well in order for me to run it. The last thing about the map is if you non-MF, if you're not using any magic fund at all, you have to kill the map boss. And this is because when you kill the boss, you're going to drop a fragment for Uber fight. And this fragment most of the time going to pay for your maps. And that's about the map. For the scarabs, we're going to run a scarab of adversary, 2 of them, and we're going to use horn scarab of traditions, and we're going to use horn scarab of nemesis. So the adversary adding rare monster, the nemesis is going to add 2 modifier for the rare monster, then the tradition going to add a reward modifier to the rare monsters. When the rare monster have more modifier, it's usually going to have more item quantity and rarity too, meaning basically just meaning more drops. And for the map device, we're going to choose a quantity of item found in the map, because we cannot put any mechanic inside the map because back to basic. And this will lead us into the Atlas tree. So for the Atlas tree, so this is the Atlas tree that I'm using. It's very straightforward. You take all node that give effect modifier, take all item quantity and then rarity node, and take all scarabs node as much as you can. And the one thing is to pay attention to is the leak mechanic node down here. The reason why I'm taking all this node down here is because there is a node that's going to reduce the effect of haunted modifier on your map. This is because the map is so rippy because of the T17 modifier. Sometimes some of the haunted modifier is also going to make it very rippy too. So this is basically to mitigate that one. But if your build is good enough, you can remove these sections and put it on the scarabs nodes. It's going to give you more scarabs. And the most important part, and this is basically the point of the strategy, is back to basic. So what back to basic did is your map randomly have 0 to 80% more modifier effect, meaning more quantity, more rarity, more pack size. But for the downside, you cannot add any mechanic into the map. So no strong boxes, no harbinger, no beyond, any etc. Then this is the reason why we use Scarab or Adversary to add more rare monster inside the map. So that's about the Atlas tree. It's very simple. And for the loot breakdown, this is the spreadsheet that I'm going to use. The map cost is around 120C by the time I buy it. And here I put the cost of rolling the map around 30C. This is pretty high. I think you're probably going to take like 5 to 10 chaos. Unless your build have a lot of modifier you cannot run, you probably can reach 30. And this is the reason why I put 30 here. So in case that your build is required rolling a lot, this is already in the calculations. But usually, based on my 25 test runs, you're not going to need this much. And this is all the scrap costs. In total, we have 1.1 divine cost per map. And for the profit, we got 79.69. This is from the excellence. And one note here, you're probably going to see alteration here. And the reason I still including alteration here, because this alteration is basically one div, right? And I mean, you can take it out if you want, especially make it at 78. But because of the map, you kind of drop a lot of alteration, and you can actually sell this rate very fast. People are using iteration a lot this league because a lot of builds are using Adorn, and they use iteration to roll the jewel they're going to use. This is the reason why iteration is still expensive this league. It's still like 460 iteration for one divine. So iteration is still a good money. And this is all the scrap breakdown. And the scrap is still big chunks of the profit. Half of it is scraps, half of it is fragment. This is the reason why I'm saying you need to be able to kill the map boss because of these particular reasons. And we also get a lot of map. There's a lot of map that I don't pick up because I'm running out of portal or I'm running out of inventory slot. And the total gross profit is 81.95 div. After the reduction from the cost, we have a net profit of 54.37 divine. The time average per map for me is around 5 minutes. Sometimes a little bit lower. I can do it like in 4 minutes. Sometimes it's go up to like 6-7 minutes if I mess up a lot. But I think 5 minutes is a good middle ground. And that's leave us with 26 divine per hour. So the divine per hour is really, really good. And this is the total scrap that I get is 1,785. And that's mean it's 71 scraps per maps. There's a map that I failed. There's a map that I not full clear. I probably run around like 22.5 maps. So it's not even 25. So if you can do this more efficient than I do, if you have a better build, you probably will achieve a higher diff per hour, higher scrap per hours too. Another note about scrap per map is there's a lot of scrap that I hit with my filters because it worth less than 1C and I do not want to bother to sell it. The number for the scraps per map is probably higher than this, but I will just put this one in this one, just so in case if you run it and you pick all the scraps, you're probably going to get a lot more than this. Yeah, so the conclusions is if you have a build that are good enough, this is a very good farm. So the diff per hour is solid, the scrap per map is also very solid. And there's also one thing that I want to show you, like how crazy this map can go. There's a one map that I get like having a high roll on more scarabs, basically having a high roll on the more scarabs part, plus the back to basic is also probably hitting 80%, something like that. So the amount of scrap I get from that map is insane. And this is the reason why I think rolling your map very well is probably going to benefit you more than it costs you. I mean, it costs you time to roll all the map. Is kind of a little bit painful, and that's probably one downside of the strategy because T17 have a lot of dangerous mods, so the rolling part is kind of boring, but from the run it's really, really good. So with that said, I think that's it about this video. So if you like the video, consider like and subscribe. This is going to help with the algorithms, and thank you everyone for watching. I will see you in the next one.